Welcome back, Kuma Crew. It is once again your favourite friendly despair bear, Annakuma, and we're here with a game I was offered on Keymailer that I am not obligated to talk about. That sounds weird. We're doing a Keymailer game. This time out, it's a really strange building dungeon crawly game called Hungry Meme. I really don't know what to say about this one, but I'll try anyway. Hungry Meme is tagged as dark humor on Steam, which is funny because there is no humor in the game unless I completely missed it. What I didn't miss was that when you change the difficulty to see the difference in each difficulty, instead of letting you look and see what the differences in the difficulties are, you have to click that you aren't confirming that difficulty because you can't just switch them. You have to click on them to confirm them. Thankfully, it doesn't auto-confirm, but that's a bit weird. Plus, the G and the Y in the message box are cut out, and don't get me started on the various different looking boxes the game uses throughout the 3 hours I played. It's weirdly put together. Memes are these little guys here. We get a lowdown in their story and a little cutscene to start the game. Now, I really loved this. It looked like a children's pop-up book and explained basically what the premise of the game was to you in a very simple way. These things grow the world tree by being happy. Eating a good meal makes them happy. They had a pot to make the meals in, and then someone accidentally broke it. Whoops. And no one could mend it after that. So they couldn't be happy, and the tree couldn't be happy, and the tree died, and they all starved, and they all also died. Well, other than this one guy. He then found an acorn from the tree, ate it, spat it back out, and grew a new tree, as you do. We then get into the game, and you can tell it is going to be a chore to play. The UI is huge. For some reason, you have this massive clock type thing in the middle that takes up so much space, and under it will be the negative effects for your memes. The buttons on the side are huge and kind of unneeded in some ways. It clutters up the screen for little benefit to the player. To begin with, you have a bunch of tutorial quests. This totem here will introduce you to how you feed your memes, what snacks are, and how to get into the dungeon crawling aspect of the game itself. You see, now we've fixed the cauldron and can make food in it, it is time for us to grow our own group of memes. They must venture into the pyramid structure at the base of the tree and venture out to find resources. On a basic level, the game is actually very fun. Then you have to play it and it stops being fun. Okay, it wasn't really that bad. I do promise it gets good a little bit. To explore the tree area, you need to pick up this bag and move it around. You can only move it within the circle that appears when you pick it up, and you can't place it in the fog. This ring also gets smaller the heavier the bag is, which is actually quite interesting. Your meme will follow it around and explore, but exploring in the fog will affect its mental state. When it gets too low, it'll go manic, but you can raise its mental state with snacks, so you need to bring snacks with you. You can bring 3 snacks each round. You can also have up to 3 memes in the party, which means you end up having at least 1 snack per meme if you bring a full party. When you have explored an area and cleared the fog, it doesn't come back. That being said, there are other dangers in the dungeons, which we'll talk about later. After following the tutorial, the totem will tell you that it has finished holding your hand. Quite literally will tell you it's not holding your hand anymore, and then push you into doing things on your own. Just you can't. You still need to follow his orders to move on, as the quest he gives is basically the order you should be doing things in. You can't start building houses, for example, until you know about these statues. You place them down and get certain blueprints. This is a major part of upgrading, and it's something you don't learn about until the totem tells you to do it. None of the actual mechanics of the game are really explained to you either. You have skills that the memes pick up in the dungeon, but no real explanation on how to breed them, because yes, you need to breed them to get ones with better skills and different mixes of skills and so on and so forth. I managed to breed a handful, all of whom came with the same skill set, meaning other skills that I needed like jumping or flying or whatever to get onto ledges and things like that, I just had no clue how to get them. You can see what skills you are going to get when you breed your memes, but it honestly doesn't help when you can't get a skill either way. Exploring is interesting for an hour, and in the 3 hours I played, I didn't unlock a single other dungeon. I believe there are other areas, but I personally never saw any. I thought you had to unlock these totems in the dungeons, but they just opened up new portals to leave the area in general. 3 hours in, and I saw all there was to see in the area I was in. There was nothing new for me to see. I was bored. Okay, this is kind of an edit, but it's not an edit. I wrote it into the script before I'd even written the script. Written, that's a word now. I wrote in the script, but it's kind of an edit. You see, when I wrote this, I went to myself, no, there must be something I missed, and I went back in to find out what I did miss. The new biomes just open up after you finish the feast. So down in the right hand corner, you can now access the wetlands and have small ledges you can now jump on and off to, which gives you the jumping skill, which then lets you get into bigger ledges and so on. The thing is, this corner has been blocked off this entire time and rarely has anything in it. So I never thought to go down there again after the feast. When I saw there was no new area, when I saw that there was nothing there that seemed to have unlocked, I just didn't think to go into the corner that wasn't that important, until I went, no, there must be something. So yeah, there needs to be better indicators. Like, at first this area was blocked off by vines and brambles and things like that. Have it blocked off in a different way that makes it obvious you have to come back here. That being said, I very soon, as in within a few minutes, got annoyed because the wetlands poisoned you and it was really annoying keeping the mental state up, and I stopped again. But that ties into what I'm going to talk about in a second. On the very basic level of what I've just said, the game is pretty fun. You go gather stuff to make food, you can build houses and other structures, and you slowly unlock the world around you. Breeding memes will get you new funny looking little guys, and all in all you can't go wrong. You can also get some of these resources by building different buildings that come up in your blueprints later on. Like, I was slowly being able to produce my own wood, so I didn't have to worry so much about picking up wood when I was in the dungeon. Again, it makes the game just that little bit more easy. That all being said though, it isn't an easy game. Don't get me wrong, it isn't a hard one either, but the game goes out of its way to make itself unfun to play. Or at least I felt it felt unfun to play. You see, these meanies will spawn, just like I spawn, to tell you how much I dislike games. And like everything, they spawn in the same places every day, but they aren't far and few between, so navigating between them so they don't steal your stuff is extremely important. The problem isn't so much that they are there, but that the placing the bag is a chore. It doesn't drop exactly where you think it will drop, so often you end up in the painful place of trying to get the bag around the negative zones just to accidentally hit one anyway and lose something. You see, because you can't just pick up the bag again, you have to wait until the memes have gathered around the bag, so there is timing to it, and if you accidentally click it in the wrong spot, you've lost something. They also just take up so much space, and even when they steal something and leave, they spawn again so fast. I did like the snakes that we have to attack, even if it took a while to realize I needed to breed into a different skill set to be able to even get close to them, to do anything to them. Then the mental meter itself. Oh boy, do I hate the mental meter. It isn't that I hate it existing, because it is a fine meter to have. What I hate is everything surrounding it. That is kind of because Hungry Memes isn't a well put together game by any standards. In the dungeon, the only way to keep your memes from going crazy is to feed them, but the problem is you don't actually feed them. You'll pick them, you'll pick the snack, and then just drop it on the floor somewhere close to them. That means memes can just walk away and never go anywhere near it. It also means other memes can pick it up. When they are crazy, they will attack your bag, and you'll lose certain items in there, which again, in and of itself, isn't a bad thing, but it's just infuriating when you've tried to feed the meme something just for it to ignore the snack and continue its rampage anyway. It's the same in your village. They will get angry at different things, and they will attack buildings. Buildings degrade over time, so you have to rebuild them anyway. If they degrade because your memes have got angry and broken things, it just gets frustrating. They put a decent idea into the game and then implemented it to make it unfun, and I don't understand why. Why the wetlands annoyed me, and I said a little bit of it just a minute ago, is that they are constantly getting big hits to their mental abilities during their time there. They do gain a skill that takes that decrease down just a little bit, but again, with the snack mechanic being a pain anyway, it was just way too much. I've said this a couple times, but I'm going to say it again. The game just became extremely unfun, and it became unfun very fast. None of the mechanics on their own, or even paired up together, are annoying, but the game was clunky, it was hard to maneuver things around, and it just became unfun to play. Now, I'm not going to say this because I got given the key on Keymailer, but at the same time, this is a game I can see myself coming back to for like 3 hours at a time. I think 3 hours was as much as the clunky controls and very slow gameplay allowed me before I got extremely bored, but I do kind of want to see what is past where I am as well. I want to see the other biomes and if there is any end game to the game. Apparently I think there is, but I didn't see one anywhere close to coming to me. What happens when we get all the feasts unlocked? How interesting is the skill tree gonna get? Just how many things can I breed? There are a lot of questions, but it will take a very long time over very small play sessions that see any of this. And where is the dark humor? What was humorous about this? Is there a joke somewhere that I've missed? I don't know. Hungry Memes is for sure a game that I have played in 2025, and it really wasn't one of the worst either. It definitely wasn't one of the best. With some cleaning up of gameplay, I can see this being a fun game going forward. So, if you are interested in Hungry Memes, please check out the description below where I will link the Steam page. Thank you again for the key. If you would like to continue to support this bear here, then please feel free to like this video, comment below on how hungry you are, and subscribe. I also now have a Patreon page, which you can find a link to in the description below. It is very bare bones at the moment, but I'm going to try to figure it out as I go along. Also follow me over at twitch.tv/Annakuma, where I play games 5 days a week, and we tend to have lots of fun, unlike this game. Till next time though, thanks for watching as always, and bye bye.